realize that they have been greatly harmful to themselves, against themselves. People cry when they understand that it's no more time for joking, that what is in cause is their own survival. This is the very moment of despair. As Proverbs says, the winner is the one running away, but when one has been running away from life, suddenly he discovers how much he cares about life, how important life is. Despite all its inconveniences, my life was really important to me. And now that I have gambled and lost it, now I cry.
Ma ci tenevo. Quindi adesso che io me la sono in qualche modo giocata, piango. Di una cosa sono certa.
I'm completely sure of only one thing. Every one of us always cries for himself. Because when healthy people lose what they used to consider normal, their health, at that point they get to cry.
Quando non ce l'hai più, piangi.
Nel 2007, al mese di luglio, quasi alla fine, avevo il bambino di mia figlia con me in ferie.
In 2007, I was on holidays with my daughter's 2-year-old son. He was not feeling fine. At the hospital, he underwent a standard radiography. While waiting for TAC, in great anxiety for the final report of the examination, we got the following message: let's be happy with the child until he is alive. This message sounded terrible to all our family.
Godiamocelo finché c'è. Una botta, una coltellata al petto.
Vorrei sapere da loro signori.
The fairy asked the doctors standing around Pinocchio's bed, "I would like to know if this unlucky puppet is dead or alive." The cork, getting Pinocchio's wrist in its claw, first replied,
Tastò dapprima il polso di Pinocchio, poi la punta del naso e poi il dito mignolo del piede. E quando ebbe tastato ben bene disse:
A mio parere,
"In my opinion, the puppet is already dead. But if he unfortunately shouldn't be dead, in that case, it would be still alive."
sicuro che è sempre vivo.
La situazione era disperata. E allora gli hanno fatto la biopsia, l'hanno mandata a Padova.
My grandson's state was desperate. They took a biopsy of his lung, sending it to Padua, and after 5 horrible days of waiting, he started chemotherapy. A month later, a new radiography was performed, and the result was extremely good. Half of the previous mass in his lung had disappeared. We jumped for joy. We were in a great hope.
Grida, perché non credevamo ai nostri occhi. Ed è stata la cosa più bella, anche se dovevamo ancora aspettare.
Oi, 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 Fatina! Oi, 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 oi!
My dear fairy, I do not want to drink this bitter drug.
Oi, amara!
You have to drink it, and after a few days you'll be recovered. And after you will have a sugar bonbon. First I want the sugar bonbon, and after I will drink that disgusting drug.
Prima la pallina di zucchero e poi beverò quell'acquaccia amara.
Facciamo l'attack.
Some days before Easter, a new TAC was performed, and 2 days later, nobody has not yet called us. A day before Easter, we receive a call from the hospital. The child has no more mass in his lung anymore. Thanks to God! I bless God as never before.
Dio, ho lodato il Signore come non mai in vita mia. Tutti sopra di là.
Uno dei momenti più belli.
One of the most beautiful experiences during our 2-year work at the hospital was to meet Renata. Renata Grasso, whom this film is dedicated to, was a patient with a long story of cancer, always treated in St. John Hospital. Among all the patients we have interviewed, Renata stood as a very special person. She had been fighting against her cancer for more than 14 years. Renata was so generous. She talked freely about herself with no restriction. She always came to all the performances we have organized at the hospital, attending to all the scenes which directly concerned herself, sometimes playing her own story on the stage. Many times I had to read Renata's story, and on the stage I quoted directly her words. Many times I had to play the role of Renata, and she never missed any performance, always sitting just in the middle of the audience. Come on, after the treatment you'll be the same than ever. And I would say, fuck off, a burst of fuck off, I would say, if I would not prevent myself from screaming.
Per esempio, non si è mai commossa, non si è mai
During the interviews, she never asked for compassion, she never cried. She did not want to be considered as an observation case. She always fought it as a little warrior against her illness. And she always kept a good sense of humor, nevertheless.
No, davvero questo senso combattivo, ecco, nei confronti della malattia e molto umorismo anche.
No, perché tu.
In that moment, you have not any hair anymore, but you have a wig on. I have 3 wigs, one with short black hair, one is brown, and one is with long hair, one is curly.
Già che ci sono, io ne ho ben 3. Una è corta, nera col carré. Una è color caffè. Una è lunga più di me. Una è mossa col frise.
E poi ha iniziato a guardarsi intorno quando veniva qui e vedeva, ha iniziato a scoprire.
Suddenly, when she got used to identify wigs on other women's heads, she asked them, "How do you feel with these dead cats on your heads?"
Con questi gatti morti in testa.
Altro giro.
Another
Altra
round,
chemio.
another chemotherapy.
Ma stavolta la parrucca
But this
non
time, no more wig.
non mi aggrada.
I do not feel like wearing another one again. I do not care people's glances on the road. Do you know what I think? Fuck off.
D'inverno, il sole è stanco, la sera a letto presto, se ne va, non ce la fa più, non ce la fa più. La notte adesso scende con le sue mani fredde su di me. Ah, che freddo fa! Ah, che freddo fa! Basterebbe una carezza per un cuore di ragazza. Forse allora sì che t'amerei.
E mi è successo proprio di innamorarmi di un paziente.
Once it happened to me to fall in love with a patient who stayed at the hospital for 9 months. 9 months less one day. I was very attracted to him and distressed by his suffering. But I was very shy and I was never able to talk to him when I was beside his bed. So one day he told me, "You're always so careful when you treat me. Your touch is so light, but you never say a word. Why?" And in fact, I always used to run away after my duty.
Mi tocchi con delicatezza, ma non dici mai una parola, perché io facevo le mie cose e scappavo via. Cioè le mie cose e scappavo via, però c'ero sempre.
Cos'è la vita senza l'amore? È come un albero che foglie non ha più.
In quel periodo lì
In that time, I tried hard not to think about future, nor about the time passing by so fast. I tried to live thoroughly on what happened, knowing that that time will never come back again.
sapendo che non mi sarebbe più tornato indietro quel tempo.
Ma questa vita cos'è? Se manchi tu.
Chissà se l'amore mio ci sarà.
I wish my well-beloved were with me when I will be near to die. Hopefully he will be there, standing close to me, very close to me, telling me sweet words. As for example, "I'm so sorry that you must die."
Come ad esempio, mi dispiace molto che tu muoia.
Gli ultimi giorni, quando prima di morire, quindi...
Some days before dying, he's just said to me that he only regretted to have known me too late in his life. I still got the nice memory of the day of his funeral, when his past wife whispered some encouraging words to me, and she thanked me because she had understood the feeling he had for me, and despite she had previously loved him, having 2 sons with him, she was grateful to me to have made him so happy the last days of his short life.
Però l'aveva capito, quindi è venuta anche lei a ringraziarmi di aver vissuto con lui questa cosa, quindi di averlo sollevato, l'aveva visto felice, più sereno.
Man mano che passo riona, sta frevi mi trasenta l'ossa, con tutto che fora c'è guerra, mi sento stranizza d'amore, l'amore. Ho scoperto che alla fine la musica...
I have finally discovered that music has been my salvation through all my life.
Ancora di salvezza. E l'altro in mare, vita mia, o speggio detti anni. E adesso per me la musica è un modo...
And now music is my way to travel and the easiest way to communicate everywhere I go. You can communicate through music all over the world and everybody can get to understand it. I have always played for my grandfather and his friends at the seaside since I was 5 or 6. And since then have started as a professional to play music in social theatre, especially with the elderly. It's very easy to get in touch with the elderly just by playing an old song to them. This lets to approach them in an easier way.
Suonando una vecchia canzone, perché immediatamente loro piangono.
Il cancro.
Cancer. Let's have the courage to pronounce this word. It's no more a taboo.
Tutti i miei amici quando parlo del teatro che faccio si
Most of my friends, when they know about my present professional activity at the hospital, often react with disgust and irony. But according to me, theatre must tell about life in all its aspects, even the most disturbing and not only the positive ones. And anyhow, there are many comic sides coming up from dramatic aspects of life. Even in